It may pain me very, very much to say this, but according to some of the athletic models, the Vancouver Canucks have a terrible chance in their playoff series against the Oilers. Okay, I know the numbers aren't the be-all and end-all. Oh, the numbers say this, which means we shouldn't play the series anymore, right? Because the numbers say this. That means that's gonna happen. Like, no, I get it. It's not always the truth here. But yesterday, we had ourselves Dom Lucian, after the Toronto Maple Leafs and Boston Bruins series, go out there and post the 2024 Stanley Cup chances going into round 2. With one Game 7 pending. Yeah, the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights, they still have not finished their series, but according to Dom's model, the Stars actually have a higher likelihood of coming out on top. Aside from that, though, if you take a look at the Pacific Division, because it's all about the Pacific and it's all about the Canucks here, Dom's model has the Vancouver Canucks having a 26% chance of beating the Oilers. The Oilers, of course, have a 74% chance. If you go over to the West, Dom's model is very heavily favoring the Oilers. They have a 46% chance of winning the West and making the Stanley Cup Finals. The Canucks have a 10% chance. If you go over to the Stanley Cup and you talk about the, well, what is right now, 9 remaining teams, it's going to be 8 once one of Dallas or Vegas is eliminated later today, the Vancouver Canucks have a 3% chance of winning the Stanley Cup. The Oilers have a 27% chance. And there may be some contention as to why that is, but Dom goes out there and snarkily, in very Dom Lucian type style, snarkily replies as to why this is labeled that way. Take a look at this comment here. Ryan replies asking, "The model likes the Oilers' chances that much that the Vancouver Canucks Cup chances have dropped from 5% before round 1 to 3% after advancing?" Because there was another one of these graphs posted earlier that had the Canucks at a 5% chance of winning the Cup. All that really means is that it likes the Oilers more than the Kings. Some of the potential paths before round 1 liked the Canucks against the Kings, and that would inherently have led to better odds. Dom then replies saying, "It's also about losing Thatcher Demko and not playing very well in round 1. Now, I'm going to disagree. I can understand why Dom is saying that the Canucks didn't play well in the first round, but at the same time, I think the way the Vancouver Canucks played that first round was almost what they needed to do. Like, you'll look at the numbers, you'll look at the charts, you'll look at the statistics and everything, and you'll say, oh, the Canucks had so few shots in the first round. They had so few goals. They did this, they did that, they didn't do this. The Oilers had so many goals, but it's like, if you watch the gosh darn games, you can understand why those shots and those numbers and those charts look the way they do. Nashville was clogging things up defensively. This was a chess match slugfest of very patient coaching, physical play, and even more in-tune shot blocking and defensive dynamics. That was the Canucks and the Predators series. Of course, from an analytical point of view, hey, the Canucks had so few shots on goal. They had so few scoring opportunities. Of course, in some sort of predictive model, it's going to favor the Canucks poorly like that, but it doesn't favor the potential for the Canucks to change their style, which we have seen has been very effective against the Oilers in this prior season's worth of play. I get it, regular season versus the playoffs, it's a different game, whatever. The Canucks are most likely not going to play the Oilers the same way they played the Predators, but that's not even the point of this video. The point of this video that I wanted to go out there and make was that despite the fact that the Vancouver Canucks have themselves these really bad odds, they have some of the worst odds of advancing past their second round series. Actually, out of all these teams, they do have the worst odds. That's crazy. Even though the Canucks have the worst odds out of all the second round teams, I wanted to go out there and say this. This was actually talked about on the Sportsnet 650 Canucks Central at noon yesterday? That's what I was listening to while I was on the treadmill, but they talked about this on the program. I thought it was a really great thought process, and I wanted to share it here in this video. But essentially, the Vancouver Canucks are already playing on house money, baby. Like, sure, you can say that with some of the losses the Canucks ended up taking this year, the fact that they acquired Elias Lindholm in a trade for Kuzmenko that a lot of people said was a bad one. The fact that they have all these expiring free agents that we don't know the team is going to be able to keep. The fact that Filip Hronek and his point production fell off and he's going to be wanting $8 million, but he's definitely not playing like that. And the Canucks might have to find a way to either keep him at a dollar amount that he's not going to be happy with or trade him away. With all of the small little L's that you could say the Vancouver Canucks took this season, the fact is they're already in the gosh darn second round. The fact is, they're playing with house money because nobody thought this was possible. Screw the Kuzmenko trade. Screw the Nikita Zadorov, will he sign, will he not sign? Screw the Tyler Myers, will he be brought back? Screw the Filip Hronek, will he get traded or whatever? Screw all of that. The team right now in 23-24 just blew away the door on everybody's expectations. If you had prophesized back in October, he said to the Canucks fans, hey, the Vancouver Canucks will finish first in the Pacific. They will take out the Nashville Predators and advance to the second round against the Oilers. You're going to get Chris Cuthbert on the call, most likely, because the Toronto Maple Leafs will lose in 7 to the Bruins again. But the Vancouver Canucks will have a 100-point season out of Miller, a 90-point season out of Hughes, another 80-plus point season out of Elias Pettersson, and you're going to have 4 people within this organization nominated for awards? Pettersson's a Lady Byng nominee. Quinn Hughes is a Norris nominee. He's probably going to win. Rick Tocchet, Coach of the Year nominee. He's probably going to win. Demko, nominated for the Vezina. He's probably not going to win. But 4 guys, all nominated for awards on a team that blasted by everybody's expectations, made the playoffs, made the second round, and now they're here. If you had told anybody this a year ago, hey, we just fired Bruce Boudreau, we got Rick Tocchet in here now, just take it 1 year at a time, and he's bringing you to the second round, baby, and he's winning Coach of the Year in the process. That is house money. No matter what happens in the second round, if Dom's model goes out there and says, yeah, no, the Canucks are going to lose, they only have a 26% chance to win their second round series against Edmonton, because the Oilers had all these goals and all this production heading into the second round, and the LA Kings were not able to match that, and the Canucks, they didn't have any production. They didn't score. They didn't do anything. They just got 1-goal games, 1-0 wins, 2-1 wins, 3-2 wins, like tight scoring, low scoring games. That's what the Canucks had. But it's not like they're going to play like that against Edmonton. No, they kind of had to do it against Nashville because that's the way Nashville wanted to play their game. And I do think that Rick Tocchet has the capability of out-coaching Chris Knoblauch here. Not in the same way he had against Andrew Burnett. No, Burnett had a really good comeback and comeuppance with this Predators team. Knoblauch, I mean, look, not to completely discredit the guy, but he's got McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, what else do you need? You got a 50-goal scorer in Zach Hyman. Evan Bouchard's doing as good as he's doing. Like, you can say that Chris Knoblauch does deserve his props for turning the Oilers season around. I don't want to discredit that. Jay Woodcroft was not good for the team at the beginning of the season, you could argue, but even Draisaitl and McDavid themselves went out there and said, yeah, no, it wasn't his fault. Like, it was us. We were playing bad. He wasn't coaching us bad. So, taking a look at what the Canucks have, this is a really big opportunity to kind of tell the picture with the play on the ice rather than the numbers on the stat sheet. Because at the end of the day, models like this from The Athletic are just that. They're models. These aren't the games. Just because we have the model doesn't mean we don't need to play the games anymore. Like, the models are nice to look at, but of course they're only nice to look at when my team is winning. And like, I'll be upfront and honest about that. We're making this video because the Canucks are not favored highly in this series, but if they were favored highly instead, then we'd probably make the video saying, hey, the Canucks have a X% chance odds at beating the Oilers. But for now, they're playing with house money, baby. Doesn't matter what happens. If they win or lose, they're already in the second round, they already subverted expectations, and they're already here. They're high rollers, baby. Roll the dice. Let's see what they land on. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks and their playoff odds against the Edmonton Oilers. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.